beautiful people of the YouTubes. Welcome back to another episode of Hollywood Interviews. And on this week's episode, Dustin and I get to interview Jordan White. Jordan, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great today. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thanks for being on the show. We're going to ask you a series of 5 questions and have you plug what you're working on at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off. I like to ask this to everybody because sometimes the answers are different. Sometimes it's exactly the same, but it's still entertaining. So how did you get into the world of film and television? How did you break into the biz?
Right. So, like, throughout my life, I've always been someone who's like very big into role play. Like, I love role play. I love stories. I love embodying characters. And so, like, even like long before I was even considering acting, when I was a kid, I'd spend like hours on end, just like making stories with action figures, Legos, anything I could get my hands on. And something that was like a little weird, that from like my brother, he loved to build with Legos, right? But I would get Lego sets and I would like forsake the Lego set and just take the characters and play with them. Not because I don't like to build, but I loved to just make stories with the characters themselves. So yeah, I've always been really into role play. Still am. I play a lot of role play games now. So I've also always been like a kind of like reserved person. So I wasn't really considering acting for a very long time, until a couple of years ago when my mom told me like there were auditions being done for a local talent agency. And so, I told myself that this is definitely something that I should try out, take this opportunity. Wasn't expecting to get anywhere with it except just to be satisfied that I took that chance. And so I did a monologue. They said like they were very impressed. I was super surprised because they said they just wanted to sign me right there, which is crazy. And
Cool.
So we did. They referred me to some classes that I've been taking for 2.5 years now. It's just crazy to think about, but yeah, that's how I got into it.
Awesome, man. At the end, we're gonna swing back to the RPG thing. That makes me have some questions about your favorites. So we'll go to a little later on for that.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan. So what was it like for you to work on a Blumhouse picture?
Yeah. So, I mean, for one, just the entire thing of being in such like a big feature film, my first time, I was insanely nervous, but it's one of the best experiences of my life. Like it was crazy. And with the whole like Blumhouse aspect, I was really surprised because the environment that the film is going for is so like it's realistic. It's almost like kind of like gritty. So like that has a lot to do with like how it was filmed and stuff. And so that just the whole film environment, I mean, it was surreal, getting to meet all the people that I did, and all of that. Like there's just memories that I'm going to have forever. And so yeah, I mean, just like experiencing all of that for the first time, it was a lot to take in, but I'm so happy that I was able to do it. And also, since the cast is like majority minors, I was able to make like so many friends that we still have a group chat now. And we all were in the same hotel. We were able to hang out so often while I was still there. And so like it was a very unique experience, and it was just so fun. And there was also a part, and it's mentioned in this Fangoria Magazine. So yeah,
That's awesome.
There's yeah. It's a part where like I'm getting to a fight and I'm able to bleed, and I just couldn't believe when I first heard that I was going to be able to like bleed with prop blood. I mean that was insane. So that was a really awesome experience as well. Kind of painful getting it through your hair. It feels like you're being scalped, but it's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was amazing experience all around. Yeah.
So what was it like? Because this is one of your first projects. For one of your first projects, you got to work with Scott Derrickson. Like, how was that? I mean, that's Mr. Sinister. That's Doctor Strange. Like, that's like
Yeah.
he's directed a ton of amazing projects. So what was it like working with him?
Right. So he's an incredibly nice guy. Like he's so welcoming to like me and like everyone else I was working with. Like he's just got such a like friendly environment about him when he was just like talking to us, giving us pointers for the scene. And the first scene that I did, like I was walking in and you've got like just an entire village of people there. Just like all the crew members and stuff. And it's the very first scene that I was doing for the movie, and really the very first big movie scene I'd ever done. And so I was walking in, and we just got straight into it. And just after a couple of the takes, Scott walked over and was just talking to me about how he thought we should do the take, and he mentioned my audition and said like something along the lines of like as soon as you walked on the screen, I was like, I knew that I was going to have you for the role, and I mean I still can't fully process that. Like that was that was insane. Like
Insane.
this guy worked with freaking Benedict Cumberbatch on Doctor Strange, and like the whole Sinister, Ethan Hawke. I mean, that was amazing.
If Scott said that to you, I promise you're gonna get phone calls from Scott, and you're gonna be in more of this stuff for sure. I mean, he's definitely one of those directors that like he sees talent and he just puts them in everything with them. Well, prime example is Ethan Hawke. I mean, so yeah, that's so awesome, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was so great, so surreal.
And I'm incredibly jealous that you get to be mentioned in freaking Fangoria Magazine. Man, like let's just rank things here. Like for Scott Derrickson, sure. Fangoria Magazine, way up here, man. And you mentioned working with some fellow peers and making friends on set. We actually got to talk and interview one of them, J. Gavin Wild, who was incredibly fun to be on the show. So cool, we had that bond. He sort of mentioned a little bit of that as well. So for the folks out there watching, you're watching it via YouTube. Now you're no stranger to YouTube as well. So what is Nerd on a Quest, and how'd that come about?
Right. So around the time when I first like got into acting, I got that audition, and I was trying to just convince myself to be less reserved, go out and seize opportunities. I really, throughout my childhood, have always wanted to be a YouTube creator. But the problem is I've never really been good with social media consistency, pumping out content at a steady rate. And so that's why there are not too many videos on Nerd on a Quest, but the videos that I did or that I was able to film were really cool experiences. One of them, we visited all of the filming locations for Stranger Things, which at the time I was like really into because season 3 had come out a couple months before that. So that was a really cool thing that we were able to get on that channel. So I guess that just shows like my attention span. We got 4 videos down, and but hopefully in the future, I might come back to that, or if it's maybe on a different channel, because I do like to make content. I'm just not very consistent at it. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and it is a grind, and it is fun. We love doing the same thing, and I watched the 4 episodes, and they're very entertaining. And we're definitely going to post a link in the video description, our video, so that people can check it out. Especially the filming. I love that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for filming locations. I'd love to go to California to visit all of the original 78 Halloween locations. That'd be super cool. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone check it out. Make sure you check out Nerd on a Quest right now.
All right, Jordan, where once Black Phone comes out, I guarantee you it's gonna be a success. Where do you see your career going from here?
Right. So I think it would be really great. And I think it's a stretch because I don't have much experience with like stunts and stuff. I have always wanted to, like, this was one of my main motivations for getting into acting. Always wanted to be able to be in a comic book movie of some sort. Some sort of superhero movie, whether I am the superhero or supporting character, that would just be like incredible for me. So that I guess that would be like the main goal for where my career is going. I don't know like exactly like what will come, but I'm hoping to just take it all as it's coming to me. And yeah.
Okay. So you piqued my. I'm a huge comic book nerd. If you could be in a comic book movie right now, that's coming out or that's not coming out yet, what character would you want to be?
Yeah. So little cliche, but I think that I have very good reason for this. My favorite two superheroes are definitely Batman and Spider-Man. I've got the one from Marvel, the one from DC, the faces of Marvel and DC. And obviously, like there are a lot of people's favorite superheroes, but I think that they're not overrated. They're popular for a very good reason. They have all the criteria that a superhero should have. They got the amazing backstories and stuff. So I think one of them probably, they're very different types of characters. So I think probably leaning towards Batman would be a really cool person to play. Obviously, I don't want to destroy my vocal cords, so I probably wouldn't go for like a Christian Bale type Batman. But yeah, that would probably be the type of character that I would want to play if a movie like that were remade. So yeah.
If they were like, we're doing the Batman 2, we need a Robin. Would you audition for that?
That would yes, that would be great. I don't know if I've got like the stunt work and stuff, but I mean, if I've got what it takes, I would definitely reach for that. I mean, that would be insane. Yeah. Especially if they're planning on taking it to like Nightwing or Red Hood.
Nightwing.
Like,
Yeah. Oh god.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
that would be amazing. So yeah.
And see if you got the Nightwing role, and I can see it. And they teach all the other stunt stuff, man. Like, as long as you can act, they'll take you to stunt school and all that stuff. But I definitely was getting the Dick Grayson Nightwing vibe. But then also from the Battle with the Cowl series, you can actually play Dick Grayson as Batman. So that would be pretty cool. I can see that happening right now. Matt Reeves, if you're watching, and you probably are, because everyone watches the show, cast this kid right now. Cast Jordan as Nightwing. That would be super, super fantastic.
Let's go. Yes.
Go. Let's get it. Let's get the campaign started. Hashtag. All we got to do is get it on Twitter. It's how we got the Snyder cut, man. Just let's get this trending. So my final question would be, it's sort of in the same vein. Well, actually, before that, what are your RPGs? What are your favorite?
All right. So I'm playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. I'll be truthful. It is my first Assassin's Creed game. And yeah, I really like the whole open world aspect. I love open world video games because I love being able to go wherever I want. And because I like role playing so much, I'm kind of like radical with how I play the game. Like I treat it like an actual character. I don't allow them to make decisions that wouldn't actually be true to the character, Like,
I think that's cool.
Yeah. Because you get lots of chances in these games to make decisions. And not all of these decisions have to be consistent. So I like to make them consistent so I can actually like make a character that would be realistic, that has layers and stuff like that. So I'm playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. I also like to play games that are just like completely role play. I really want to get into Dungeons and Dragons. I have a lot of friends that play that.
You have to do it.
They keep telling me to get into a campaign. I really want to. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. And then just like certain like online platforms, like even like Minecraft, they have servers where you can do role plays and stuff like that. And I don't really know if this counts as an RPG, but I did start the Batman Arkham series as well. And
I consider it.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
later games are definitely open world RPGs. And you got to do Red Dead Redemption 2 if you've not checked that out.
I have. It is the greatest video game I have ever
Of
played.
all time.
All
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah,
all time.
it will never be topped. I mean, it was so great. I could talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 for, days.
Let's do a whole video, another video of us just talking about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
And talk
Let's
about
do
that.
that.
If they should make that into a film, and you should definitely audition.
Yeah.
They really
In
did.
fact, apparently Henry Cavill, he plays a lot of video games, and he
Yeah.
actually voiced that he wants to see a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie done.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be insane if that ever happened. And I also played, if you know what it is, Ghost of Tsushima. It's yeah, they're already in production for a movie about Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
So I can realistically see a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie being made.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to audition for it. I would do anything to be in a freaking Red Dead Redemption 2 movie. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
So good. But speaking of movies and speaking of, all this fun stuff, what do you have working on? What are you working on now? What you got on the burner? What is the future looking like for Jordan at the moment?
Right. So I've gotten a couple nothing like actively cooking right now. I've gotten quite a few auditions in the past couple months. We're really just taking it slow, especially right now, because I'm in my freshman year, trying to figure out everything that's going to come for the next 4 years in high school. So right now, we're kind of just taking it a little bit slow, but I have gotten a few auditions in the past like couple weeks and stuff. So nothing actively cooking right now, but I'm definitely planning to continue this for as long as I can. So yeah.
Absolutely. And you've got the Black Phone yet to come out. So when does that hit screens?
I believe late June. I don't know the exact date. I can't remember because it's been pushed back a couple times. Yeah, I think the original day was like January 28th and then February 4th, but I don't know the new one. I just know that it's in June. So really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Is it scary?
Yes. Yes. I mean, yes, it's going to be very scary. I've heard and just from what I've been able to see myself, very scary, very brutal, but it also kind of plays a lot on the psychological thriller type side of horror. So it doesn't
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't have to rely on constant gore and bloodshed in order to scare you, So, yeah.
That's good. That's relief. I was gonna see it anyway, but you better believe I'm gonna check it out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us.
problem.
This has been amazing. Hopefully we can have you back on. And y'all, thanks for watching. Check out the Black Phone. It should be out in June. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed again. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Make sure you like
me.
and subscribe the channel too if you like this content, so we can do some more videos. Drop that like button and hit that subscribe button really hard. That last part sounded weird, but do it anyway. I've had a great time. Good night, Dustin. Good night, George.
Later, y'all.
Later.